Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian own nothing, control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live or listening to replay. Always appreciate our live listeners and always appreciate everyone that tunes in from anywhere in the world that even gets it live. This is a pop up episode. The Vault Trust Christian, episode 139. Freedom isn't free. What going private looks like. So definitely wanted to thank you all for tuning in live or listening to replay. Especially if you listen to replay as well. Thank you. We have a bunch of people that listen from all over the world. We just want to say thank you for everybody that tunes in as well via replay. So just gonna get this episode started. This is a pop-up episode 139. Freedom isn't free. What going private looks like. This is a well awaited episode. A lot of people have contacted the vault throughout the years for trustee training. That's what the vault provides, is trustee training. And oh, all right, well, okay. Thank you for somebody tuning in live saying the truth. Okay, let's see what's going on with the mic. Okay, said the mic is a little low. Is everybody confirming that the mic is low? Should be. The mic is pretty high. Uh, okay. So once again, thank you for if you no one else has commented and said that. So just wanted to address everyone that did type into the chat and say that they heard a low volume. Mic is low. Alrighty. Said the mic is low. We've gotten this resounding. Thank you all for tuning in live. We always appreciate that feedback that's live. It's maxed out. Should be clear. Oh, I don't want to push that. Okay, well, so as loud as we can go on our end, and we're gonna continue with the episode. I know that you all can cut up your volume, but we definitely will make it a point to make it as clear as possible, as loud as possible with this episode, and go forward from there. So once again, this episode is about freedom isn't free, what going private looks like. We got a bunch of people that have inquired over a period of time. Over a period of time, we've had a bunch of people contact us through the email Trustee Training, and we just appreciate everybody doing that. And so we wanted to address a lot of the questions that people have. We're just going to address most likely the main thing that comes off people's head is price. Everybody wants to contact the vault, and this episode is freedom isn't free. People have even contacted us, private citizenship status. Freedom isn't free. We want to emphasize that. I remember hearing a mentor sat in a workshop years ago, and the mentor said freedom isn't free. How it rubbed me wrong so much, because I don't come from that background to know that it isn't, and to know that so many people think that it's supposed to be, and they've just misconstrued what work is, what work ethic is, and we want to address that today. Work ethic means an investment. We could say in yourself. Obviously, it may not be into other things or other people, but specifically yourself. Freeing your mind isn't free. So private trusteeship is not free. When people contact the vault and they say, well, what is the price to entry? The price to entry, Google it on the public side. We encourage you to. Everyone, Google public revocable trust. Google those entities. Oh man, I can get it for $1,500. Isn't that what you want? You want to go public, right? Or you want to stay public, right? What going private looks like means you invest in a private relationship, a private mentorship relationship. We've shared this from day one throughout all the episodes. You learn privacy from private mentors or private community. It's just that simple. Freedom isn't free, but because people think the internet is free, they can get it over the internet. If it's on the internet, isn't that the World Wide Web? Isn't that the public domain for all you all that want to go private? What going private looks like means you know that you're not going to obtain what you need to really obtain since you are thinking about going private or may want to go private or are going to go private, and you invest in the private aspect. There's no questions asked. The cost of entry is whatever it costs. Why? Because on the public side, you can see what the costs are. They're a little bit more what people call upfront, but they're not. Not all public attorneys are created equal. And we encourage you all to Google private ones, private attorneys. Since there's a lot of people that say, we're going to just go get a private attorney to do it. Google it, because that's the public domain. Freedom is not free over the internet. There's been thousands of miles, thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars that have been invested in the vault's initial start. You all say, okay, we don't want to say that some people can't afford it. We're going to say freedom isn't free. So if you're not able to bear the cost yourself, why don't you have partners? Freedom means you give up some equity in the company. Freedom means you give up some money to work with someone else so you can split the money, but you have two minds. You have more strengths working in your favor. We know why that hasn't been taught, because that's not a private education. That's a public education. Not being able to work in groups, establish organizations, work with people, lead people. Leadership, is it taught in school? Leadership? How to lead people. People come to the vault and say, well, how much, once again, is it going to cost? Think about your tax liability. It should cost that. That's what it cost. Then you got some to come. Wait, we're not going to call them the slicksters. We're going to call them the Web 2.0 entrepreneurs. Well, the company broke even. Okay, so you're saying that the company didn't really make a profit. You want to give the blank stare again? It broke even. That means it didn't get a profit. So then let's go back. Why does it have a tax liability? Because it has a profit. But some odd reason, people say, how much is it going to cost? It's going to cost what it's worth to you for the rest of your life. How much did college cost for all the educated college degreed individuals? There have been many college degrees that have gone through trustee training. Many. Some would like to do what they do in college. They like to skip because they think it's in a book and they're going to study it. It's not in a book. People contact the vault, they do the consultation, and they say, well, is there any book that I can read when I get off the phone with you? Where? In the public or the private? What going private looks like means that you get access to private information. That's why it's called the private. Never have had one trustee come back and say, we found that in the public. Things that they can find in the public, we talk about some books, but they're not cheap. The $500 book. The book that still, the book gives you just another blueprint. There's many ways to work privacy, but what going private looks like means you invest in a mentorship relationship or a private community. Now, some of you all, we can establish that some of you all think that going private is your nationality, and you think that that is going private. Here we go. For all of you all that are listening, own nothing, control everything. That's going private. Oh man, I ain't got nothing in my name. Okay. So once again, what about the companies that you're a trustee over or that you're managing? Are they turning a profit? Well, we want to be in the nonprofit sector. You see how we can go all over the place because we hear this in the consultation? We want to go the nonprofit route. Okay. Freedom isn't free. What going private looks like? There's public charities and there's private charities. We don't call them non-profits in the private sector. So we wanted to address the cost. That's one of the first things. We wanted to address what's called the spider monkey mentality. There are many people that are in the public. They have a spider monkey mentality. The mentors used to say this. When you want to catch a spider monkey, they hollow out a gourd and they put food inside. You make the hole just big enough for the spider monkey to stick his hand in, grab the food, and when it grabs the food, it can't get his hand out. And it won't let go of the food. So it's sitting there shaking and jumping around, and it doesn't let go of the food. And then they walk over and they politely put the bag over the spider monkey because he won't let go, or she won't let go of the food inside of the gourd. That is how they catch spider monkeys. People resemble spider monkeys. They're not letting go of public. They want to say, I want to go private. It sounds good. When you all hear that in the consultation, it's always going to sound good. Because that's as far as it's going to go. It requires an investment in yourself and your education. We talked about this many times. Freedom isn't free. If it's not free, that means you have to invest in your education. You have to let go of the freebie mentality. It's free. Oh, I can just Google it. Sure you can. If you can, what do you want to hear? Just the examples of the ones that have come back licking their wounds, sucking their thumbs like the rest of them? That's a fact. Even when we initially started out in trust, I had a trustee that I worked with who was a partner at the time, trustee, and we got to this one step in the private trustee training that we went through, and he thought that he had it. He said, we're gonna put this together. And it took about a good less than 60 days before we made the executive decision to invest more in the private education that was available to us, and we didn't know how long, and on God's green earth it was available to us. Because when we sat in the meetings, our mentors would say things like, you have to have $30 million to acquire pieces of information that we're talking about. And our families didn't come from that. So obviously we knew what position we were in. So we invested in the private education. The mentors said they were there. We went there. We didn't question it. Sorry, so many people have never had a mentor, so they don't know what a mentor looks like, sounds like, so they don't know they don't know. Okay, well, have you ever had a mentor? Maybe or maybe not. Okay, now it's time to get one. Someone that's done something you want to do. It's that simple. A mentor doesn't have to be forever. That's something we've learned through life, through being mentored throughout our entire life. From 18 in business, had a mentor. Till now, still have mentors in business. And we've gone through mentors. Wait till you get to the point where you outgrow your mentor and you're selling your mentor your products. That's a life shocker. If you don't come from mentorship. If you don't come from mentorship in your youth through public school, when you grow up and you start having mentors, you think they're supposed to be your mentor forever. They're not. Some mentors you outgrow. That's the whole purpose of trustee training. It's to outgrow mentorship. It's to become from a junior trustee to a senior trustee, or trustees going through continuing education. Lawyers sitting on trustee training. Trustee training, the vault. Some people might say it's an intuition move. It's not a logical move. Why? Because your old paradigm is going to keep you and hold you back. Well, I don't know if I need to have anything that protects my family as far as the trust goes. Okay. So you negotiated the price of success. There are people that when we talk to them, if they've never heard it before, it's an immediate investment. Why? Because people that have money, they know how hard it took to get it because they know freedom isn't free. And once they have it, they know how hard it is to keep it. So what is it about? Getting it or keeping it? Well, rich people ultimately know it's about how much you keep, not about how much you make. So why are they not in the correct position? They make it a point to get in the correct position immediately when they come across someone that's skilled, that can get the job done, or it's people that can get the job done. So they open it up. Wealth is being created every day. Every day. Around the world. See, the private sector doesn't stop growing. The public sector slows down where the public people are, so they can lose their job, so they can go through a recession. Ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing the greatest transformation in technology with jobs being eliminated right now, and we hear about this daily. Despite the big stores shutting down, more and more of the middle businesses are employing AI, artificial intelligence, self-checkout. It's attacking grocery stores right now. Grocery stores where you do convenience shopping are doing automation where you go in. Ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to be sold on the private sector. It's not sexy. There's nothing sexy about it. Let go of the sexy. Instagram has sexy. We guess Facebook has sexy. If you want sexy, you got to stay in the public. If you want going private, then you let that go. You're not going to be sold on it. You know it's just the right thing to do. It's an intuition move again. Just like you knew it was the right thing when you first heard it, it's the right thing still. There's no need to sell it. That's why it's so little of us, because there's no need to sell it. We got a lot of people contact the vault, and one thing you've never heard was people badmouth the vault. But the next thing you understand is why would someone go through the private trustee training and come out at the other end having anything ill to say? Why? They got what they paid for. They got what they paid for. They got going private. That's why you don't hear it on the other end. People ask for results. Everybody wants to know the results of a loser. The losers want to know more about what the losers are doing. Well, guess what? We're winners over here. See, it's easy to go private because you invest. The ones that don't, they're left to the fire and the slaughter. It's easy on the private because you're focused on what it's all about, business. It's not personal. You get what you pay for. You wanted to go private, you went private. Okay, what was that? You already know what it is. Own nothing, control everything. So why would a trustee come out in the public when they said they were going to go private? They're like you. They're listening. They went private. Their goal was not to sit on the internet and keep listening to the YouTube videos or emailing and saying, "We don't really know who you are. Trust Christian, who are you?" Trust Christian, the vault, get off it. Own nothing, control everything. Get on it if you want. That's a life choice. That's a private investment in private education, private trustee training. That's what the vault's about. Then we get this group of people. They're sitting there. You're listening. You got a 98 number. Who knows how you got it? Oh, and we're going to throw some more people into this basket, the ones that have the trust already. So you have a trust and you don't even know how to manage it as a trustee, and you're contacting the vault. And are you pulling a trigger as a trustee is supposed to do and invest in your private education, even though you created the trust? So you're the grantor and a trustee and a public trust, and you're calling the vault and finding out, hey, vault, is this public or private? We're going to share with all of you all on the 9 now. Grantor type trust. Public. It's that simple. So they say, you know, we don't know when we're going to enroll in a trustee training program because we're in a public situation and we need you to help us with the public situation. Why are you going to go private then if you need help in the public situation? And we're talking about individuals that have capital. Then we got the ones that they have a bunch of money, and we're talking about millions. Ladies and gentlemen, they're millionaires that listen to the vault. Millions. And they say, okay, it's coming in from international. You don't really have to think about, any liability in the States. Oh, okay. So let's look at, why are you contacting the vault? Because you want to go private. Well, guess what? It's not free. We already know why you're contacting the vault. Because you're trying to move money. That's what everybody thinks about doing. Moving money. It's trustee training. We got Wordsmith in the chat. I just read a couple comments. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We appreciate you all in the chat. And we just wanted to say thank you. What do we say? When you deal with the public, you get a lot of public responses. And, even the people with the UCC stuff, they contact us. We got to address them too. They contact us. Oh, the UCC, what does that have to do with going private? Okay, so let's break it down for all you guys that you heard that message from the guru. Who knows where the guru is right now? We can share it. The Vault Trust Christian, we've traveled the country. We've met quite a few of the gurus. Okay, so we'll let you know that. We've done workshop with some of the gurus. You guys sit on the internet, you listen to. We've done shows with these guys for years now, especially the ones talking about the UCC because, oh, this is your lifesaver and it's going to save you. How's it going to save you if you're not thinking business? Isn't it dealing with Uniform Commercial Code, and doesn't that deal with contracts? Contract is private law, right? Right. So then how are you going private but you're not studying the contract aspect of what you're doing? What laws regulate that? Is that public or is that private? Well, I don't know. I know. What happened to the guys that were telling you about it? They're supposed to finish the story. They didn't finish the story because they're not finishing the story for themselves. Because it's business. What does it say? The UCC is a financing statement. Debtor and creditor situation. Business, not personal. And these guys are saying, oh, you can get your freedom by filing the UCC. You can get your freedom by getting control of the birth certificate. But really? In what capacity did you get in control of it? Did you create the birth certificate? We can ask all these questions in the consultation so we can let you know it's not personal, it's business. But then they still are saying, I can't believe that it's not the personal about the name. Right. Because if you stop using something and you use something else, that's what's supposed to work. It's business, not personal. So why are we using old things? Oh man, I put a lot of time into that. We know. And the best part about trustee training, and you understand contract, you understand UCC. Because we could call it the Uniform Contract Code. It's dealing with contracts, what regulates financing contracts in the public. We can talk about that. The guys that are the gurus that started the information but didn't finish it, they were talking about something about getting some free money, right? Because there's the freedom is free, because the money is free. How you getting the money? From yourself? Uh-oh, let's start talking again. Where you getting the money from? Yourself? Yeah. Oh, no. You're getting the money from the government. Oh, okay. You get money from the government. Okay. That sounds like a handout. Sounds like welfare. Where does government money come from? And then we can go deeper. Let's stay on it. The UCC is a securities dealing with securities. How come none of them said go deal with a securities agent to make sure that you can have whatever instruments that you're dealing with securitized? None of them talk about that. We hear these guys over there because we've been around them for years, and then they still were contacting the vault, trickling over slowly. These guys got huge followings over the internet because they're gurus. That's what they're called. They're gurus. They sit behind the mic and they talk to you. And, sometimes they talk nice, and sometimes they yell at you. This is just being honest. And then we get to some of them you'll never see in person. The Vault has done workshops. The Vault does workshops with private trustees. It's a private community, a private trusteeship, private trustees in training. We provide resource through the Vault. Great resource. So, excited about Trustee Training. Trustee Training is coming up on the 7th. That is the first day, but enrollment is now. Really excited about that. Going to have quite a few trustees from all over enroll, so really excited. It's just going to be a good training program. We got a lot of great feedback from the last session. 12 weeks. It's a 12-week course. Just really excited about that. You all can inquire at christian@trustchristian.com. Once again, that's christian@trustchristian.com, or you can go to welcometothevault.com. Exactly the way it's said, welcometothevault.com, and you all can reach out via email, and we'll respond to you all. But definitely wanted to address, the 9-8 number guys, the UCC guys, all of that stuff, because that stuff is a trending thing. You see how some of those guys even lost their fire and their thunder. That's just being honest. We've seen it. They lost their fire and their thunder. People, ladies and gentlemen, we may say over here in the vault, okay, you don't see any trustees that have come through out on the private side, but remember, that's why they contact the vault, is to stay private and go private. That's the first thing. But we can tell you many success stories. For sure in the private. Many success stories. The resources we provide are success stories of trustees that have just said, okay, we're going to stay in the vault, inside of the vault, and work with the vault internally, and that's the way we're going to give back. And so we have trustees that do that. That's where the vault really benefits, as well as the trustees. Trustees continue to grow. Have obviously, trustees range, $1 million businesses plus, to people that are managing family estates and things of that nature. It's a gambit of trustees that go through trustee training. Some are previous trustees, many are not. High percentage are never trustees, but they learn trusteeship, and that's really important. The one thing that we wanted to say was that trusteeship is going to be here forever, and insurance is going to be here for forever. And those are the industries we like being in. We like being in charity. How long is charity going to be around? Forever. There's certain industries that we just like being in the private sector, and so you might not see people peek their heads out and specifically say, hey, I'm private here, but we definitely consistently make it a point to talk about things that are timeless, that are going to outlive you. They're going to outlive us. And we know that trusts do, we know that foundations do, your legacy. We know that insurance policies can outlive you. We know the stock market is going to outlive you if you all are dealing with the trading. But a lot of people, they don't know how to administer a UCC contract. So we just say, let's take the trusteeship so you can know what contracts look like. Get a great confidence in that. But it's not free. You don't need to contact the vault fishing for a price. You either are prepared to pay, and look, we've given you the torch. Google the public side. So when you come to the private, you can say, wow, should it be more or is it going to be less? We'll let you take a wild guess. And at the end of the day, it's about the training. A lot of people They contact the vault. They're in these public situations. They're in these entities. They're strolling around. They don't even know the two things that you can't do as a trustee in order for the corporate veil to get pierced. They couldn't tell you that if you asked them that in the middle of the night while they were scratching themselves. And that's where trustees that go through the program, they get 12 weeks of knowing the two things you can't do. It's a lot of stuff you can do, but it's two things that if you do them, you can kiss it goodbye. You can murder she wrote. It's that simple. It's called business, not personal. And then we go to it every time, and then we sit there and people say, my trust. People say, I have a trust. And then we say, guess what? It's business, it's not personal. How do you have something? How do you own something? And trustee training provides a high level of consistency, um, potency, and what it's delivering. So, really excited just to share that with you all. We're going to do an episode on Tuesday as well, but definitely had to do an episode about freedom isn't free, what going private looks like. It's not going to be a flurry of emails. This isn't a sales job. Don't sell me. How do I know you're a scam? How do I know you're not a scam? Or how do I know you're not a scam? Okay. Guess what? Some investments, they're going to be bad ones. But if you're not willing to take a risk, you don't deserve to invest. You don't need to invest. You're risk averse. It's called go get a job. Someone will pay you in 2 weeks for working. You might not get health insurance nowadays in 2019. You got a job though, with the hope that the company doesn't go out of business or replace your job while you're working there for the first 2 weeks with automation. That's the world we're living in. 2019. Likely a scam. Did you know they said Facebook was a scam, right? They're about to launch now a Facebook coin called Libra. They're about to launch an internal currency. Wow, did they just make it a point to try to dominate over the internet? The fact that there's a lack of competition shows there's so much room for opportunity and growth over the internet. Oh, this one company has 1 billion subscribers. One company? Okay, there's room for opportunity. Because guess what? There's 7 billion people in the world. They thought they looked big because you didn't look at the overall number, and they thought they looked big because they had 1 billion. They don't have everybody. There's still room for growth, room for opportunity over the internet to supply people with good content. They called it a scam. It's not. So they provide good content supposedly, and then now they're the brunt of fake news. When you all go look at records right now, they're trying to say, Facebook is a fake news distribution outlet. Right. The Vault's episodes on iTunes every time go through a like a checks and balances. Like they listen to the episode before it goes up. They check it. Make sure there's no infringements on it, all that good stuff. Going private does look like you invest in your private education and not expect it to be government subsidized with a handout. Private means without government. So guess what? You got to come up on what you consider your own bucks. And you can Google once again the public side. What it looks like on the public side. Oh, okay. This is what the situation I'm thinking that it might be. Right. Google the private guy then. You got to Google the private guy because we know there's many that are going to deviate and say, oh, I got this. Google the private guy. Why can't you Google the private guy? It's for a reason. And we have many mentors, but they just not on the internet. A lot of them don't care to be on the internet. They've been very successful for over 25 years, and they have no interest in be sitting on the internet. They just don't. They feel like it's a small niche market. There's so much wealth that is literally standing in front of your face on another jurisdiction or another country. They rather go over there and shake hands and rub elbows, because when you're in the wealth space, it's about shaking someone's hand. It's about relationship. So we understand that people want to do that and establish that, but guess what? When you understand the value of the internet, we've actually found out mentors. We found mentors from the internet. You say, well, how did you find them through the internet? Through relationships, through other people that have possibly come through partially through the internet. But nevertheless, it still came with that face-to-face relationship, going face-to-face meeting, and we respect that. We appreciate that, and that's why the Vault hosts private trustee training workshops as well. And so, it's just one of those things that you have to invest in that education. But the private trustee training is something that it gives the family or the team the initial onset of what it looks like to go private. And if you're not willing to invest in what is considered to be proprietary or private, then you obviously know there's no need for a flurry of emails. It's either I'm doing it or I'm not. And we've never had people really second guess and play with it that actually do it. They literally go through, they appreciate the process. That's why they come out successful. It's so awesome to know. See, so many of you all are going to look at the Vault and look at Trust Christian, and we will take this to our grave. We love the fact that so many of you all sat there on diamonds. You sat there on diamonds. There's a great book that we read when we were younger. It's called Acres of Diamonds. You all sat on diamonds. If you're living in the United States, you sat on diamonds. So they sat on diamonds. We live in the age of the internet. We're living in the age where the information is light speed. A diamond come across your screen, light speed, and people keep scrolling. Why? Because they're not reading. Reading is fundamental. They don't read. They want to scroll. Okay. Well, light speed. So many families have been blessed by the Vault, and we appreciate it every time. So many. And we don't need the public platform where, once again, Facebook has 1 billion faces. Okay, we didn't need to build that with the Vault. It's YouTube. It's the podcast. It's iTunes. That's it. And then families that deal with us privately. That's it. Oh man, you gotta get on this platform, that platform. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about going private. You gonna do what the leader do. If the leader's on the internet showing his face, showing off the cars, showing off the site visits and the private family retreats, what are you gonna do when you get to that position? I can't wait to show it off. We sit around trustees that bring us stories of people that you all see in the public. They file bankruptcy and then they go private. And then you all that don't know what happened to them. You say, well, what happened to that person? I seen them go bankrupt. How the heck they still wealthy? They still on top. They still on TV. Because they understand public and private. They went private. And we can give you stories of all of them that say, oh man, I don't own nothing now. I don't want to even be on Forbes 400 list no more. I don't want to do none of that. But they still moving. They still over in Dubai. They're still at Versace hotels. They're still at Singapore. They're still traveling. Freedom's not free. What going private looks like is you invest in your private education. It's just that simple. We appreciate you all for tuning in live or listening to replay. Feel free to reach out, Christian@trustchristian.com. I just really wanted to share that with you all today. That was a line that rubbed me for sure the wrong way when I first heard a mentor say that. I was like, man, ain't no way you gonna tell me that. Freedom's not free. Like, I was born free. And then you find out that if you don't have capital, you can't travel. So your freedom is limited. Freedom is your ability to exercise your power. Whether that's through travel, whether that's through influence and leadership. And the Vault's done that for years. It's not new. This isn't, oh, we just started listening to you last week. We're going to get a consultation, but the consultation price, so I don't know if I'm gonna, hold on, what do you guys do at the Vault again? You listen to one episode? Ladies and gentlemen, for all of you all that have just started listening, we appreciate you all. Please go back and listen to more episodes. If you listen this far in the episode and you're new, go back and listen to more episodes. There's no need to contact the vault. That's why we're doing the episode. Freedom's not free. You're not gonna come to the vault and say, "Hey, I heard about the private stuff, and I need some more of that private stuff for free." That's where it ends. Freedom isn't free. That's what freedom. That's what private looks like. Appreciate you all. Peace and blessings. Look forward to hearing from you. Christian at Trust Christian. Welcome to the vault.com.